Hello and welcome to another episode of Bomb Squad, our In Dreams Club PlayStation podcast. My name is Andrew Muggleton, and I'm joined, as always, by my wonderful co-host Chris Sloan. How are you?
Hello.
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 Hello. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. Just thought I'd say hello like an old woman.
Yes, good. Well, that's how, moving forward, I would like us to start it as an old woman.
As an old woman. You know, the Studio Ghibli films. What's the one where there's an old woman and she's got like a massive head?
The Spirited Away.
Is it Spirited Away?
She's working.
When I said hello, that's who I had in my head, but I don't know if she has that sort of voice. Can't remember.
She is a bit squeaky voiced. Yeah.
That's who I want you to imagine.
She's like the quote baddie kind of in it for most of it. She's got a massive nose.
Is she in charge of the like washing house?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. She's something.
Yeah. I think I've only ever watched that film once.
Really?
Yeah.
It's very, very good.
Yeah. I need to watch that again. Okay. So I edited the last couple of episodes of this here podcast.
Oh, thank you.
And I realised that we kind of just I've kind of just jumped into this RPG that we're doing.
Oh yes, yeah.
With your dwarven warrior called Lily. Mm-hmm. I feel like I should probably say at the beginning we're doing this RPG at the beginning, like literally just like a minute every single episode until we get through.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
So
This is going to be
that's how this works.
a reoccurring thing.
I realised listening to it last time that I just kind of went okay,
jumped
right.
in. Right, okay, let's talk about an RPG. No.
So
cool.
We're not going to do a super big sort of thing of what happened last time, but basically you made a choice and you've chosen to kind of like dob in all of the dwarven underground.
Yeah.
Criminals. So you've been taken to the town it's not really a town, it's a city of Orzammar, the city guards, and you have said that you told Oscius to sort of run away.
Yeah.
And you gave him a heads up, and you've now dobbed in Berat.
Yeah.
Who was the kind of underground.
I want nothing to do with this crime life anymore.
You want nothing to do with that. And so the city guard, are actually pretty irritated with you. Because they kind of knew about Berat a little bit. Yeah. And they were basically trying to shut his organisation down. You've kind of helped a little bit with that, but they, because of the public opinion of Berat and all of the underground things that he's been doing, they need to make an example of you. So
everything backfires. Lily's life is a constant backfire.
Well, they have taken, they've arrested Berat and he's been around, and Oscius has got away. But basically, they're giving you a choice.
I love a branching path.
I mean, yeah, it's a choice. Okay. You can either be exiled from Orzammar, and I'll explain a little bit more about that in a minute.
Okay.
Or you can be executed. So the choice at the moment is kind of, it's a choice, but if you choose to be executed, then we're kind of ending this a bit earlier than I thought we would. The exile, there's a human in Orzammar who is called Duncan. And he looks...
Wait, Duncan?
No, Duncan.
Duncan, okay.
Duncan. And he is... he seems quite old, quite grizzled. He's got armour on. And he's willing to take you with him. And there's something about him that seems kind of like weird. Like he seems quite powerful. But basically, the city of Orzammar is saying you can either stay here and be executed, or you can go with Duncan and you can live.
How I need two questions answered before I make my choice. Okay, first of all, outside of the city, what is life like? What is the world outside? How aggressive or how nice, or what's the situation?
Well, Lily would have no way of really knowing that, because as a commoner of Orzammar, you basically lived there your whole life. You're kind of in
tales, stories.
When I say like it's the dwarven, you're like exactly what you imagine. You're underground. You're like you've never really seen. You've never been outside. Okay.
Like, have I been told any like children's fantasy stories about the outside?
Yeah,
I'm thinking, are there like some fables about?
There's stories of basically part of the reason that the dwarves are all underground and everything is to try and stop them getting involved in like human conflicts with because humans kind of dominate most of the land and and the second thing is
this world that you've created and that we're creating together, how fantasy is it?
Oh, it's pretty fantasy.
It's high fantasy.
Yeah, it's pretty fantasy. Like there's elves. There's you know.
Okay, well I think that's answered my question.
Okay.
And my choice is going to be that I'd like to die.
Would you actually?
Yeah, and I want to see how fantasy this world goes.
Okay, all right. So
in my afterlife and my spirit and my resurrection,
okay,
and everything with the high dwarves and elves and dragons and.
No, that's fine. Okay, so
I was very intrigued. I was very intrigued to go out into the world and potentially see this war ravaged place or this utopia perfect thing. But I think I'm more interested in the afterlife.
So okay, right. So you've basically like you're there with the guards and Duncan's there, and you've just looked them all in the face and go, "No, I'd rather die."
The way Lily says it though is she ratted out this crime king, and because she didn't want to be a petty theft kind of person anymore, she didn't want that life anymore. She was tired of it. She didn't want to be part of it.
Yeah.
And now by making that decision, if she has to be made an example of, then she wants to do it in the most spectacular way.
Okay.
Which is through public execution.
Okay. Right.
And that the town can see if you rat out people, you will die. So she's accomplished nothing with what she's done.
All right. Well, we'll end it then with the guards take you and they will throw you into a dungeon. You know?
Oh, in preparation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then we'll come. Okay, next time.
Excellent.
Fantastic.
Okay. Brilliant.
Looking forward to seeing where this goes.
Same.
Okay. Right. Well, thank you for that, Chris. I think we should talk about some news in gaming.
Yes.
Because a fair bit has happened over the last couple of weeks.
There's been lots that's gone on.
Yeah. So the main two sources of our news stories and articles will be from there was the State of Play that PlayStation had, where they do their little Nintendo Direct style 20-30 minute YouTube video compilation thing.
Cool.
And also the Game Awards.
Excellent.
Just happened this week that we're recording. So I'm going to run through. This is going to be in order of most important, going backwards. The most important thing is the first.
Oh, okay.
Thing, and then we'll kind of get less important as we go along. So I think the most important, and obviously remaining a PlayStation podcast as well. We'll talk about a few things.
Yeah.
So the most important thing that came out of these last couple of weeks is that the Untitled Goose Game is coming out on December 17th.
Yes.
So that for me is that's the biggest piece of news. How do you feel about this?
Yeah, no, I'm well excited about that. I can't wait. Yeah. There's been a couple of times where I've, considered buying it on the Switch and going that way, but because it just looks absolutely brilliant. It looks so funny.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm glad we're going to get a chance to earn some trophies.
Exactly. Yeah. So
looking forward to that.
Yeah, very excited. December 17th. Make sure you get it. I'm looking forward to it. But actually, let's go through some actual big bits of news. So probably arguably the biggest thing, which isn't really to do with PlayStation though, was that at the Game Awards, there was a stealth announcement of the next Xbox.
Yeah, saw the competition here. They've gone first.
Exactly. They've pulled the trigger, and it is the Xbox Series X. Is what it's going to be called. Holiday 2020.
Yep.
We've seen it. It's a monolithic tower.
Yeah, it's weird. It just looks like a PC, doesn't it? Really.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a PC or like a modern Wi-Fi router. Like a lot of the like mesh Wi-Fi routers have these kind of rectangular boxes.
I quite like how it looks.
It's bold. It's
I do quite like it. I think it's cool with the vent on top with the green in it. That looks cool.
Which I saw a couple of comments and things talking about how I don't know if you remember the last Mac Pro that came up, which looked like a trash can, the kind of circular one. That had a really, although it was a kind of ill-received computer overall for the market, it had quite an innovative kind of cooling system where you would have vents that came up through and then kind of triangulated through the top. And it looks like they're maybe going for a similar thing with this, which is great because, as we know, as long as there's good airflow and cooling, the consoles can be silent. Like the Xbox One X is supposedly pretty silent, generally speaking. The PS4, not so silent. So I think if that helps with that, fantastic. I'm interested to see how big it actually is, because you kind of got a size comparison with the controller, but then there's I've seen a lot of like memes and people being like, oh my god, it's going to be huge.
The dimensions out. I saw IGN actually had a comparison with a lot of the other boxes for like the PS4. I think they had stuff with the original Xbox as well. If you stood it up, the original Xbox is bigger but not as wide. So I think this thing is pretty big.
Oh, it is pretty chunky.
Yeah, it is pretty big, but
yeah,
it looks cool.
Interesting, because they have announced as well. Although it stands upright in all the pictures and stuff, they did announce you can play it sideways, so it will work. I wonder if it'll affect the airflow.
I just want to know for us and for PlayStation, do you think they can just release a normal looking kind of like box? Or do you think they're going to do something a bit different? Because I swear, like now that Xbox come first, and they've done something quite different and bold. Do you think that PlayStation's going to do you think their box is going to be a bit weird, a bit different?
Well, there's the dev kits, which kind of was another little
kind of have a little V on them, don't
they? It's kind of got this giant V on the top with massive airflow and kind of vents going through it. I don't think that's going to be what it actually looks like.
No. Do you think?
Is it going to be somewhere a bit out there?
Interesting.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I think it's the least important thing about it, but it's also something to get excited about. Like it can be a black box and it can just go on a rack in your kind of under your TV and you just forget about it. But at the same point, it is kind of nice having things look cool.
It's exciting when you see the box.
Yes, you can physically feel it then almost. So I would like something a bit wild.
Yeah, I'd be up for. I mean, can you imagine if it just was like a V?
Yeah,
but obviously not what the dev kit looks like, but actually just a black V.
It would be wild.
Crazy.
Yeah, and then they bring back the. Do you remember the boomerang controller for the PS3?
Yeah.
Bring back that as well. So yeah, I don't think it'll be too long. Now that we've seen the Xbox, I don't think it'll be too long till we find out the PlayStation. I imagine maybe February. They did that last time for the PS4. They had that kind of event, I think, in New York.
Plus, I guess now if they want to like redo anything slightly, although I suppose it's at the point maybe when parts are being
exactly. I think at this point it's too late to make those kind of changes, but they can probably change their wording of things. Yeah. Now based on this. So yeah, we had that announced. At the same time, they also, again, not really relevant anymore to us, but used to be. They announced Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, which Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice was one of my favourite games of the last couple of years. Really, really interesting. That's now only going to be on Xbox, but you can also play it on PC as well. So hopefully you'll still check it out.
Yeah, it was kind of just like a little announcement thing.
Exactly.
It wasn't obviously any like gameplay.
No.
I suppose it was all running in engine though, wasn't
Supposedly, yeah, that's what they said. And it looks fantastic. So that's that. Right, back to more PlayStation-focused stuff. I'm just going to run through in the order that I've written them down here. Yep. I think one of the biggest things really, though, is Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah. Has been given a kind of date of summer 2020. Yeah.
This got me hyped.
Yeah.
I wasn't like, when they announced what it was, I was kind of like, oh, okay. I wasn't really that interested in the idea of that. But this little cinematic trailery show-off bit actually looked really cool.
Yes.
So I'm quite excited for that to come out.
Yeah. Now. I think it shows off the feeling of the game quite well. I'm still intrigued to really get down to the nitty-gritty of what you're doing. Yeah. We've seen that kind of extended gameplay, I think, from E3 last year.
Was it last year? Was it even before that?
I mean 2018. Yeah. Not.
Oh, okay. I get what you mean.
Yeah. Where we had like a bit of gameplay where showing the stealth and kind of attacking, fighting people. Whether it has a big open world or whether you're going to the locations.
I'm kind of over the idea of an open world at the moment.
Yeah,
just rather.
I think it will. It will have big locations, I reckon, because it's Sucker Punch, isn't it? Who?
So am I right in saying that was their last game Second Son?
Yeah. Well,
that's crazy.
Second Son / First Light.
DLC the DLC. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So they've kind of bookended PS4.
Haven't they? So Second Son came out, I think.
It was a bit after launch,
about 6 months after. About 6 months after or so. So yeah, basically the beginning and the end of the console.
Yeah. I liked Second Son. I didn't think it was amazing.
No, yeah, exactly. It was a good game.
Yeah.
It showed off the PS4 quite well. So this, I'm super hyped, really excited for it. What's interesting now, getting this date, because I was beginning to think, because I hadn't talked about it for so long, I was beginning to think, is this going to be a launch title for the PS5 at the same time as the PS4? So have it be both, like, oh, it's still a PS4 game, but it's also the same day as the PS5. Obviously the case is no.
I think it's going to be quite a bit before.
Yeah. Well, so with it being summer, I think that puts it in the, what's normally summer, June, July, August?
Yeah.
Maybe halfway into September? You could still, maybe? Not really.
I feel like it will be before August.
Okay. You think before August?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Because I was going to say, we've now got one of the other bits of news, which I'll just pop it in here, is that from the State of Play, we had Dreams. His release date is February 14th.
Cool.
So in terms of PlayStation exclusives, we've got February 14th, you've got Dreams, you've got Final Fantasy VII Remake, being then March the 3rd, so a couple of weeks later. And then you've got Last of Us 2 in May, and then this in the summer. So I feel like they'll give, hoping they're going to be sensible and not put it like, oh, Last of Us is like the 19th, I think, of May, or 18th of May, somewhere around there. I hope they don't be like, oh, it's the 1st of June.
Yeah, I'd say like July. Sometime in July.
Give it a bit of space for Last of Us.
So many games left, There's all those PlayStation exclusive ones, but then you've still got like Cyberpunk in there. You've still got
Doom.
Yeah, Doom. That was what I was thinking of. Yeah, so much still to play on this.
There is a lot still to come. Which is exciting. It's going to be a crazy year next year. But then, I think they need to give enough time as well then for it to have its legs and then come out of the PS5. Because you need that bit of a almost nothing to come out for a month before the PS5 to get that anticipation building. So yes, very excited for that. Glad we've kind of got a release date now with it. Another thing that was reintroduced was Wolf Among Us 2. At the Game Awards. Now, did you play the Wolf Among Us?
Yeah, I've played it. It's really good.
Well, I was about to say, what's your thoughts? Because I think I own it. I've never actually played through it yet, but it was one that I always want to get back to.
Oh, it's really good. Yeah, you should finish it off if you can. The thing with this, I've not seen I don't know what they actually showed. Did they show anything?
So all it is it's kind of out the window. You see like some neon signs glowing, and then it kind of comes back through a window. And is it Big B Wolf? Big B Wolf. He's sitting in a chair, and it kind of goes up behind him, and then he kind of turns to the side. And I think that maybe there's a lady there, and then it just comes out. It doesn't have a date or anything like that, but it's just reintroducing it because of obviously what happened with Telltale.
Yeah,
because it was announced a while ago.
I remember that.
And then because of what happened with Telltale, and now that they're kind of back,
that's the thing though. Like, is it actually have they got people back that worked on the last one and wrote it, or is it? That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't know exactly the details. I know that when Telltale did come back, they have brought back a lot of the old staff. So hopefully there are some original people there.
I hope they can pick stuff up because like Wolf Among Us 2 is going to be, well, hopefully if it's anywhere near as good as the first one, it'll be amazing. And I'd like to keep going with the Batman Telltale stuff.
Yeah, well,
Batman was good.
So that I didn't actually write it down here, but I did see there was whoever the company is that's kind of publishing these, they announced something, then took it down, and then re-announced it, and then I think it got taken down again. In that there is going to be a new version of the Batman Telltale games, like an updated version with like a neo-noir look. So I think it's all like black and white with red. So the whole game is black and white or something.
What, like a re-release?
Yeah, like a re-release, cool. Just a new kind of graphical update to it with this neo-noir feel to the whole thing, and kind of a bit more detective-y. So hopefully, if that gets its traction, then they'll continue.
Yeah, hopefully it will. I'm sure the first two sold really well.
Yes, yeah.
Batman.
Yeah, not well enough to keep the studio going.
No,
not joking. No, so yeah, Wolf Among Us 2. Hopefully, I feel like if they're going to announce that, it's in line for next year. But the fact they didn't give a date, maybe it's a bit further away. Talk to me about release schedules for these kind of games. How do you want a 5-chapter long choose your own adventure typey thing? How do you want these to be released? How much time? Because we're going to come on to Life is Strange.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Life is Strange 2 a bit later.
I feel like this was a point. This was.
Well, I forgot. Life is Strange 2 originally came out in 2018.
That's wild.
That's nuts, isn't it?
Do you consider it a 2018 or 2019 game? It's gotta be 19, surely.
Yeah, I think most of it came out in 2019. Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe I feel like 2 months tops. Yeah. I think because any more than I feel like the wait from episode 4 to 5 of Life is Strange 2 was something like September to December.
Yeah.
I think I'm right. I think that was right.
So. Yeah.
And it's just too long. And I mean, to be fair, each episode of Life is Strange 2 did have a really cool previously kind of thing. Yeah. The way it was done was very cool. But I feel like
Walking Dead Series 1 was a bit closer together. Unless maybe Telltale are just a bit more...
Maybe, because obviously that's Don't Nod, so it's different. But yeah, I just kind of feel like maybe... You want to get them almost done
the whole thing,
before you and start releasing them.
Yeah, because it's very clear they obviously are still working on them whilst releasing them.
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like 2 months maybe. Yeah. is the right time because
if you get it down to a month, I think would be great.
Oh yeah,
because then it almost feels like you're doing a weekly TV show, but obviously games, so it's a bit bigger. And especially with the fact that most of them they're always about the kind of 2 to 3 hour mark, aren't they?
Yeah, about that.
Excellent. Yeah, fantastic. So then next on here, I've got an interesting thing in a new game called Godfall being announced. I think it is a PlayStation 5 console exclusive. It's officially the first PS5 game that's been kind of officially announced. It looks interesting. It's a looter slasher. So I think it's going to be, you kind of imagine a kind of fantasy role-playing Diablo, but maybe bigger characters, not so small on the screen.
Yeah.
So, yep, that happened.
Cool. I hope it's good.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's one of them where probably going to end up playing it because you're going to get your PS5 and it's going to be
5 games.
Yeah. So you're probably going to end up having it.
So fingers crossed it's good. What else do we have here? Oh, nothing is safe.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing is safe. Fortnite news, boys. The battle bus.
The battle bus.
Hop on board.
Gone on to hyperdrive.
Exactly.
Hyperspace? I don't know.
There's a hyperdrive.
Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars. It's happening. It's happening. At the Game Awards, they came out. They did a whole chat about it.
I didn't really see this, but what have they put in the game?
Yeah, so I think what happens...
Lightsabers.
I think it was so we are recording on a Sunday, and it was yesterday, so the Saturday is when it happened. You could go in there on Saturday, and J.J. Abrams was in there as a character, along with Jeff Keighley. And you went over to, I can't remember the place, the name. There's basically a cinema as part, like a drive-in cinema thing.
What, in Fortnite?
In Fortnite.
Okay.
And they played a new clip of Rise of Skywalker. And then at the same time, you could get into a TIE fighter type vehicle and fly around. I think it's when you jump out the battle bus. You all get into one of those as you go down. There are lightsabers in it.
Can you shoot each other while you're going?
Not sure. Probably not. Let's say no.
Okay.
Maybe you can. You can get lightsabers now.
Great.
There's a load of skins. You can look like Rey.
Can you look like General Grievous?
I'm going to say no.
Then what's the point?
Exactly. And wielding 6 lightsabers.
Why not put in the best character?
Well,
if you're going to do Star Wars, do it right.
Exactly. And they didn't, because Fortnite.
General Kenobi.
So that happened. Fortnite is still the biggest thing on the planet, and it will continue that way probably. I think it looks like now, if there is any sort of big release across any sort of media, you just go to Fortnite for your advertising.
Because we had Fortnite was in it. Batman was in it recently.
Fortnite was in it?
Fortnite was in it. Star Wars was in Fortnite.
Star Wars was in Fortnite.
Batman was in Fortnite.
Yeah. John Wick.
John Wick was in Fortnite. Thanos, the Avengers.
Yeah.
Borderlands 3 was in Fortnite somehow.
Even games. I'm looking forward to the time when some high-profile book is about to release, and they're like, "Oh, you can come read the first page in Fortnite."
I don't think it'll go that far.
I know it won't go that far.
Apex Legends is in Fortnite.
Is it?
No,
I don't think so.
But they're the same anyway.
Exactly. So yeah, nothing is safe from Fortnite anymore.
It sucks.
What?
Can you imagine if like Doom was in Fortnite?
It will be. You know it's going to be.
Oh,
there'll be like cyber demon in the game or something.
Yeah, I can actually see that happening.
Yeah. You get like the was it the BFG? No.
Oh no, I've just realised what's going to happen, and I'm going to hate it.
The sword.
No, you know, Cloud Strife is going to be.
Oh no!
When Remake comes out, you'll be able to get the Buster Sword. You can get Barrett with his gun arm.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. If Ellie goes into Fortnite, then that's it. I'm done.
Yeah, that is shut down gaming.
If Last of Us goes into Fortnite, no, I believe in that. I believe in Neil Druckmann.
That would be wild.
I believe in him.
Okay.
It won't.
It might.
Yeah, but
it could.
Borderlands sucks, so that's why they went into it. Why was Batman in it? I can't even think why he was in it. It wasn't that long ago. It was like a couple of months ago.
It wasn't the celebration of Batman.
Maybe you're right.
For like 25 years or whatever it is.
Yeah,
I think it was because of that.
It's not. It was like probably like 80 years.
Yeah, probably 80 years.
25 years of Batman.
Had we even had the yeah, we had Batman Forever by then, haven't we? In the last 25 years.
Batman
that was like
Forever.
99, wasn't it? Or something
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that the really good one with
Val Kilmer?
Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey?
Two-Face. Yeah.
I think that film's criminally underrated, by the way.
Honestly, I've watched that film so many times growing up. So many times.
How much did you watch Batman Returns?
We're going down here.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. No.
How much did you watch Batman Returns, as in the one with Danny DeVito as the Joker?
I'm going to admit something.
You never watched it?
Never watched it.
Dude, it's got Christopher Walken
I've also
and Michelle
never
Pfeiffer.
seen the original Batman.
What?
I know.
Are you serious?
I know, no. I think it's because when growing up, I think they're 15s.
Yeah, you're right.
They're rated 15.
Well, no, Returns definitely is. I don't know if Batman 89 is.
Okay. And
Returns is for sure.
Yeah. And I think
Danny DeVito bites someone's face. It gets like blood all down.
I think that was one of the reasons why, because I watched Forever because it kind of came out at a similar time as we were growing up.
Yeah. And
then I was like, oh, I'm like a 9-year-old or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is 15. Oh, I probably can't watch this. So
right, listen. So we're going on a serious tangent right now, which we probably shouldn't do because we've got so much news to get through. But I want to talk quickly about the Penguin.
Okay, talk to me about the Penguin.
Okay?
We're just going to quickly rebrand the podcast.
Batman tangent section of the podcast. So the Penguin is a guy called Oswald Cobblepot, okay, who traditionally in Batman lore is the like son of a wealthy family, the Cobblepots, and traditionally the Wayne family kind of put them out. Like the Cobblepots started to get into some dodgy stuff.
Yeah.
And they put them out, and that's kind of why Oswald Cobblepot hates.
Did you just censor yourself then? By the way,
I did. I don't know why I did though.
Some serious shit, and then went some serious stuff.
I always click explicit content when I edit the podcast as well, so I didn't really need to. So that's why Cobblepot hates Bruce Wayne and the Wayne family.
Fair enough.
And then he becomes a crime lord, becomes the Penguin. Okay, that's kind of his backstory.
Yeah.
But growing up, I didn't know this. Okay, so my only real touchstone for the Penguin was Batman Returns.
Of course.
Okay, now I'm going to spoil the opening of the film. Now, the opening of Batman Returns is amazing.
Okay.
Because it has it's got the music going, and it's a really good bit of... who did the Batman music? Was it John Williams?
Probably. Everything.
And so there's music going on, and basically it tells the origin of Penguin, but the Tim Burton origin of Penguin.
Nice. Okay.
Now what happens is it's two wealthy people, wealthy Gothamites, who go into this park, and they've got their baby, and the baby's like kind of deformed.
Okay.
And so what they do is they put it in a basket and they put it in water, kind of like Moses, except that it goes down the water and then it goes down into like the gutter system of Gotham and gets found by I think it gets found by like penguins, and he gets
Does it actually get found by penguins?
I have to rewatch it, but basically he grows up with penguins, and that's how he's the Penguin. He's Danny DeVito.
That's perfect.
Can you imagine if you are Tim Burton? That's right, isn't it? Yeah. Tin Man. And you were like, I'm going to do the penguin, but I'm not going to do him like normal. I'm just going to have him be a guy with flippers for hands.
That is wonderful.
And then he bites I think it's Christopher Walken's face that he bites.
So, quick correction. Music.
Sorry. Go on.
Danny Elfman.
Right, yes.
Who did Edward Scissorhands, Alice in Wonderland, Dumbo, Spider-Man.
Tim Burton's dude.
Yeah. Spider-Man 1 and 2. And also, importantly, all of the Men in Black films.
Nice.
And all of the 50 Shades of Grey films. An accomplished musician, I would say.
Just another quick tangent.
Yeah.
Men in Black 3, not that bad.
Men in Black 3.
It's quite old now, though. It's not the new.
Not the redo. Yeah. Okay. I must have seen it. I probably even saw it at the cinema.
Probably.
Because I used to love Men in Black.
Had a good theme song as well. I think it's called Nod Your Head. Black Suit's coming.
That's something which I'm. This should probably be for our film podcast.
Realise.
That's the one.
Subscribe.
Like theme songs to films.
Doesn't happen anymore.
Doesn't happen anymore. We'll get to that in another podcast. Right, back to games.
Okay,
back to games. I did enjoy the tension though. Another big thing.
Yep.
Resident Evil 3 remake is real.
Official.
It's happening.
Nice.
I believe that's also March next year.
Nemesis?
Nemesis is the baddie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks kind of crazy with giant teeth. This was leaked by the PlayStation Store by accident, I believe. I think they put up the artwork for it or something.
Is this like a exclusive? Is it exclusive?
No.
No. Cool.
No.
Okay.
No. I don't think so. No, I'm almost certain it's not actually. So that's happening. It's so Jill is still from Resident Evil 1, and then there was also Resident Evil 2. She's kind of one of the main characters in it. So this was announced at the State of Play. I don't know, did you see the State of Play?
I didn't actually. Okay, no, I've not got to watching it.
It's such a shame that this leaked. So this leaked maybe a week or two before the State of Play happened.
Yeah.
So everyone knew it was going to happen. It was rumoured for a while, for quite a long time anyway. But it was, if it hadn't leaked, the way they did it was so good. So they were going along and they're like, next up we've got something from Capcom. We're going to talk about the single player aspect of Project Resistance, which has already been announced as this kind of kind
of like a Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, like a 4-player. Yeah. I think you can be Mr. X in it from Resident Evil 2, but like an online-y type co-op game. So that had already been announced. They're like, we're gonna introduce the single player aspect of Project Resistance. And then it starts, and it's like first person, and Jill's running, and you kind of see this person behind. He's like, "Oh, is that Mr. X? Who is it?" And then eventually it goes out, and you see Jill in her new kind of look, and then it goes into full on just the trailer for Resident Evil 3, and then at the end it's like, like Resident Evil 3 remake, and then it goes, and included with Resident Evil 3 is its online aspect. Project Resistance.
Cool.
So the whole thing was kind of like trolling us, thinking, they're going to make this online game, but actually it's Resident Evil 3 with an online component.
Cool.
Which is, I loved the way they did it. I thought it was great.
Yeah, if it hadn't leaked, that'd be cool.
It would have been so good to just see people's reactions. So that's happening. Quite exciting. Resident Evil 2 was super cool. I didn't actually play the whole thing, but I played probably a couple of hours of it, and very, very freaky.
Yeah,
cool game.
They're just not my sort of thing, but I'm glad that people love them.
Yeah, absolutely. So good looking as well. The graphics are amazing. We've talked about Untitled Goose Game, so that's coming soon. Very soon, actually. Also at the State of Play was Babylon's Fall, which is Platinum's new game. And it kind of looks like that kind of frenetic action... super high fantasy looking as well, which was originally announced, I think maybe E3 2018. There was just like some kind of almost concept-y art shown off. Now we've got an actual trailer with gameplay, and the kind of fighting looks pretty crazy. And I think they said more info happening in summer next year. So E3, I'm sure they'll do the release date and etc. So it looks kind of funky. What else we've got? As I mentioned earlier, Dreams has its release date now, again on State of Play, of February 14th, so Valentine's Day. I'm interested to see whether they end up charging more than, I think they did the kind of beta version of it, the developers version, which I think either 25 or 30 quid, around about that. I'm interested to see when they actually release the game, if they charge more than that or if they keep it the same price, because they've talked about how if you had that version, you will be upgraded to the full version at launch. Only thing I'm going to say on this, so I really like Dreams. I think it's a really cool idea. Who knows if it's actually going to be successful and have legs and stuff. So far, there have been some really cool creations from it. Mm-hmm. And the trailer they had on the State of Play showed off some really, really cool stuff. I think one thing that needs to happen for the full release is Media Molecule need to have created a campaign for it. Yeah. Like Little Big Planet 1 and 2, and also 3, obviously, have their own campaign with 100 levels that you go through and play like a bit of a somewhat part of a story type thing, and also have this huge community thing. If they've just created like 3 levels of their own, that's not going to be enough. They need to have something that you can just straight up have a huge high budget game to play and all of the other stuff.
Well, you've got Jumanji, the game.
You do, exactly. Really, announced at the Game Awards. Yeah, you've got Jumanji. Is it The Next Level? I think it's called. I think it's called The Next Level, which you can play right now if you have the developer.
Have
version.
You played it?
I haven't. Okay. Not yet. I will do, obviously. So that's coming Valentine's Day next year. What else we got? Oh yeah, so there was. So I mentioned earlier. I put RE7 remake, but obviously that should be FF7 remake. So Final Fantasy 7 remake is coming March 3rd of March, which we already knew. However, what we didn't know, and we've just recently found out, is that it's a 1-year exclusive. So I think some box art either leaked or was shown off, and it said on their PlayStation exclusive. Timed exclusive for 1 year. So as of the 3rd of March 2021, it will probably come out on Xbox, etc. Series X. Oh yeah, very good point. Very good point. Probably 3 hours. Probably like 3 hours. About 3 years before Part 2 is going to come out as well.
Yeah. I just realised it was me saying Series X got your Siri going.
That's why my little.
That's what it was.
That happened. I was like, oh, all right, Siri, calm down. Sign up. What else do we have? We've got Vanquish and Bayonetta are getting remasters coming out on the 18th of February next year. I'm really jazzed about this because although I think I've played a little bit of Bayonetta previously, it's not really my cup of tea in the kind of game. However, Vanquish is a game, came out on the PS3 and Xbox 360, and I never played it. And I think I actually own it on the PSN store, but I never ended up playing it. And now I don't really have a PS3 to play it. And everyone loves this game. All you ever hear about is that it's like the best gameplay in a game ever type thing. Like apparently it's amazing to play. You kind of knee slide around while shooting stuff. And I'm just excited to have the possibility to play it now. So that should be fun. We've got Minecraft, always in the news. It now finally has cross-platform play between the Xbox, the Switch, the PC, and the PS4. So they made a big advert. I don't know if you remember where Switch and Microsoft being like, "Oh, we play together," and it was kind of taking shots at PlayStation for not having crossplay.
Yeah.
And now it's finally all been enabled, so everyone can play together in their wonderful blocky worlds.
Great.
Something which we've spoken about previously is BioShock. I think at one point we tried to predict what we think the next BioShock will be like.
Yeah, we did.
So now we have it on the cards that actually there is a new game being made by a new studio in 2K, and they did say it's several years away, so we're still going to be waiting a while.
I think it's like Cloud something.
Yeah, the studio. I will tell you in 2 seconds.
It seems kind of weird to just come out and say, "Oh yeah, by the way, there will be a new BioShock game in a few years." Yeah, you feel like you'd want like a name or something with it.
Absolutely.
It just seems weird to just come out and be like, "Oh yeah, well at some point in the future this will happen," like because we all knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, and I think I feel like they'd even hinted at it previously that was happening. The studio's called Cloud Chamber.
Okay.
New studio formed to create the next BioShock game. We've obviously spoken about it previously. What are your thoughts on this being called BioShock 3?
Do you think it will be?
Well, so this is...
I don't know.
And being in Rapture, or
I think
a whole new idea, a new place. Because I think Bioshock as a name, now that we have Infinite and Infinite existed, for me, the Bioshock name means a kind of fake utopian world created by some sort of tyrannical leader, and like an idea that it's for the benefit of X type of people, and everything goes to shit. So for me, you could put it into anywhere as long as you've got those kind of core ideas.
Yeah,
it.
and I feel like last time we said like like in space or wherever, but I don't know. I kind of think it's going to be Rapture.
You're going back to going.
I think it's going to be a Rapture, and I think because it's been so long, and I think the fact that there was Bioshock and Bioshock 2 were both in Rapture, and then Burial at Sea went back to Rapture, and
Infinite does link into it anyway.
Yeah, and even in Infinite, you go to Rapture.
Yeah,
like I feel like I feel like Rapture.
It's the home of it.
Yeah,
yeah.
And I wonder if you're going to see a more populated Rapture with a bit more freedom to sort of see everything in its.
I think
it'd be interesting.
We had with Burial at Sea, you go to fall of Rapture. There's definitely a space to explore there. Obviously, Bioshock, a huge aspect of that is the splices and stuff like that, which happens from the fall of it. But I think there's still stuff to be explored from the pre-fall of it and what happens there. I kind of get the feeling as well that we'll be back in Rapture. I don't know if they'll call it Bioshock 3. Or
no, they'll call it
Bioshock something.
Yeah, with a colon and 4 other.
Oh, because that's the way games are all named now, aren't they? So that is happening. Several years away. So obviously it's going to be PS5, Xbox Series X, etc., and PC.
We need to. Is that like S? Can we call it the SX? The Xbox SX.
Ooh.
Because we need a easier way to say Xbox Series X.
So we had the Xbone.
The Xbone. The sex.
The sex. I did see someone mention that.
That's good marketing.
I did see someone. The Xbox sex.
It's the sex.
The sex. Should we call it the sex?
Yeah. Okay. We'll agree now.
It's the PS5 and the sex and PC.
Cool.
Nice. Another thing which was exciting for myself, obviously less so for you, but maybe it will be in the future. The team who created A Plague Tale: Innocence, another colon name, they said that they are at work on a part 2 to that game. I don't really know how that fits in with the narrative. Again, whether it's maybe just one of those ideas about the world, but that's happening, and I couldn't be more stoked.
I worried with these like sequels because I've not played A Plague Tale, but you obviously said it's really good. But like with that and with the Hellblade 2 announcement, I'm just worried. Like, do we need sequels from these games? Do we need like?
I go back and forward over this so much because no. Is the ultimate answer?
Because I haven't played A Plague Tale, but I've played Hellblade.
Yeah,
and I know that there is that bit at the end where they sort of say, "Oh, her story continues," or something. Or like there's some weird thing with that. But like
that even works in the narrative of being a closed story there. And her story continues in that
she
continues. Like she hasn't like destroyed her psychosis. She's still going to live with it, but she understands it and she can move on with it, and that's how her story continues. Her life.
Yeah.
The answer is ultimately no, we don't. But both of those games, Hellblade much more for me, but Plague Tale to an extent, go to areas which I haven't seen games do that often, and kind of explore themes that aren't explored very often. And if this is the only way that they can continue doing that, and like getting the funding to do this kind of thing again is to continue in that world, then I'm kind of like, well, I think I would still prefer something on that tangent.
It's just like it's safe as well, isn't it? Assuming that, I know obviously like Ninja Theory made Hellblade, and then soon after Microsoft bought them, partly because of the success of it.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to expect you to make a sequel.
I think so. Yeah. And as long as the idea is there and there's stuff worth going into, go ahead and do it. But I totally see what you say. Like these are these kind of unique experiences where they can just stand on their own. Like they're good enough to stand on their own.
That's part of the problem with how video games work, is that like it's going to be very rare to have one thing on its own without then dipping in for a sequel.
Absolutely.
Like I'm trying to just think off the top of my head right now of.
Well, this is where like I think we'll talk about it much more probably in a future episode. But like Death Stranding, does this stand as like a single game, or will there be sequels to it? Because it's been successful. I don't think it's been wildly successful, but it's got a lot of people talking. As far as I know, I haven't finished it yet, but as far as I know, it can just stop. It doesn't need to continue or anything. There's no like loose thread that they're kind of dangling there. But could this be a giant series which just stands as one game? Who knows? Don't know. But yeah, you kind of almost nowadays you expect a sequel.
I can't think of a game. I cannot. I'm sat here. I honestly can't think of one
that just stands on its own with no sequel.
Yeah,
a big game. That is.
Like a big game that was received well and didn't get a sequel.
God, there will be something.
I'm sure there is.
Everything's sequels. I was about to say Horizon, but we know there's going to be a sequel to that.
But that's the thing. Like stuff like Death Stranding and Horizon's too new. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Something to ponder.
Do you know? I just thought in my head, but that's because the studio closed down.
That's one way to make only one game. It's just to close your studio. What were you going to say?
What that game that we love?
What game?
Kingdoms of Amalur.
Well, no, but that was meant to have a sequel. But they announced.
But someone's bought the rights. Was it THQ?
Yeah. Buying rights to everything. Yeah. That had an MMO sequel announced for it.
Right.
And then they cancelled it before it ever got out.
That game was so good.
Yeah, it was amazing. That would definitely come up in conversation in the next couple of episodes, by the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. Away from... Okay, here, actually, moving on perfectly from that point.
Go on.
A not sequel, but kind of sequel that is not happening. In the Valley of Gods, the Firewatch Camposanto team, they had announced this game in the Valley of Gods, I think at the Game Awards 2018 or 17, a while ago. It was announced, and there was a bit of a trailer. You could see it was an evolution of Firewatch and just kind of a walking sim, but with a heavy story emphasis. So Camposanto a couple of months ago were bought by Valve and kind of incubated into their team, and it looks as though Camposanto just doesn't really exist as a team anymore.
Really?
The game has been put in quote on hold, but indefinitely, aka the game's cancelled. It's not coming out. We're not going to see that game because most of the team is working on Half-Life Alyx. So they Valve approached them and said, right, we know you've worked in first person games before. We want you to work on Alyx, and they're the main squad behind making the game, which is kind of crazy. Like, I imagine as a team, if Valve comes to you and says, by the way, you're going to make the next Half-Life game, I think the answer is always, okay, we'll do it, type of thing. But also, to me, I'm like, it's exciting that we're getting Half-Life Alyx in the first place, but at the same time...
Yeah, but like, actually, who is getting Half-Life Alyx? Because you can only play it on...
Well, on...
whatever it is.
VR.
Yeah, but it's not even just... Isn't it only just Valve's
No,
VR?
It's both. So it's the HTC ones and the Oculus ones.
Oh, okay.
I think it's Steam VR it's going to be on. So you can use pretty much anything but the PSVR. So sucks for us. And that's why we haven't really talked about Half-Life Alyx, because it just doesn't apply to us. But maybe it will.
But also,
day.
I mean, like, Firewatch was good and pretty and cool.
Yeah.
But ending kind of sucked.
Sure. It's debatable. I quite like it. It's
kind of like a big cock tease, though, the whole time. And then it was like...
But that's life. I
don't know. I really like the beginning of that. Do you remember when you just picked those choices?
I've played that beginning so many times. Yeah. I love it. It is also like... That's a kind of team where they did that and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I want to see what they do next. And now we just won't. In terms of that style of game, we just won't see that.
I guess all those sort of games don't really have sequels. Like...
Yeah.
But
I don't think we'll get a sequel to What Remains of Edith Finch. I don't think we'll get a sequel to Everybody's Gone to the Rapture.
Journey.
Yeah.
They could have. I suppose they could have like sold out on Journey.
Well,
here you go. I've just thought of an example. I've just thought of a really good example. 2 examples from the same developer.
Okay.
Eco and Shadow of the Colossus. They could have made like a Shadow of the Colossus 2.
But this is the question, which I was going to say in a similar thing with Journey just then, was, are those not sequels?
No.
Is a spiritual sequel different than an actual sequel? Is that what we're basically saying?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Because I was going to say Journey actually,
because they're different games. They're like it's not like Shadow of the Colossus 2. Oh, here's 16 new Colossus.
Yeah, and Last Guardian again isn't then. Everything. Yeah. Fair play. Okay, fair play. That is a good point. So Team Eco are the
because they could have just gone, Eco 2. Here's what you do this time.
Yeah. I think that's fair actually. So they're the people along with
I'm sure I think of
that
some
game
more,
company doing Journey and Flower and Flow. I think it was the first one. So their last game was called, I think, Sky, which was on, I think, iOS and maybe Android as well. Which again is the spiritual sequel to Journey. It's a very similar type of game, which apparently it's great. I still haven't got around to playing it though. So that's happening with In the Valley of Gods. It's gone.
Sucks.
We will not see it,
Lame.
which is a real shame because I love those kind of games and I want more.
I do. I feel like we've dried up a bit on
them. Hopefully,
I'm excited for something like the Goose Game, even though it's not the same at all.
No, but it's a similar size in quotes, kind of. I'm also, I think we mentioned it last episode, in that we've got Shuhei Yoshida kind of looking over third-party indie games and kind of trying to incubate those. I'm hoping with him in an official title of that, maybe we'll see that come back, because it kind of happened at the beginning of the PS4.
Yeah,
we had lots of those, so hopefully we may see.
I just want something now, because the problem is, like, I've just finished Jedi Fallen Order, so we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to play something, but the problem is I've got 4 games currently that I'm in.
All of them are monumental.
Well, they are like Death Stranding, Witcher 3, Persona 5, Dragon Quest 11, and I'm literally like,
that's like 300 hours worth of gaming.
Well, I'm like 35 hours into Persona 5, and I know I've got
another.
That's like a third of the way through. And I've played an hour of Death Stranding and Dragon Quest. I almost got through a whole episode without talking about Dragon Age. And what was the other one? Witcher 3. Yeah, but it's just bang average as well. So.
Yeah, exactly. Very average game.
Yeah. Sorry. Let's do
this.
No,
you were saying you want a.
I just want something small, so that, because I was literally the other day, I was literally sat there going, I just can't.
A 4-hour narrative walking simulator.
Yes.
That's what we want. Narrative driven. 4-hour. Succinct thing. So, but you're not going to get that from Camposanto. So sorry.
Nope.
An interesting, a juicy little rumour here. Take it with a big grain of salt, obviously. However, some details, I don't know if you saw this, some details came out about Silent Hills. The wound is still fresh, and we're still getting exciting things come out about it. So Silent Hills was going to be the remake, or the kind of relaunch of Silent Hill, the franchise, by Hideo Kojima with Guillermo del Toro and Norman Reedus, which kind of has ended up turning into Death Stranding to some degree. Obviously, Konami fired Kojima as this was happening, and we had PT, which is the playable tease that came out before, which was arguably the scariest game I've ever played. I think, hands down, probably would be, actually. Some details have come out about what this game was going to be like, and the rumour is, obviously, we don't think... okay. Side note, another rumour. There's lots of rumours. This game will never die in terms of the rumour world. There is a weird rumour that Kojima is back in bed with Konami and they are going to do Silent Hills. That is still a rumour. It's still a rumour. It won't happen. I can't see it happening. That'd be the weirdest thing ever.
But you know, if he promised to, like, if he made it with Kojima Productions and then Konami obviously got a slice of the pie.
They just got a license thing. Well, and so Kojima did say, I've been trying to get back into horror recently. I've been watching loads of horror films to get back to the roots of horror.
He said he wants to make the scariest game ever.
Exactly, which is what PT was billed as, and Silent Hills was also. So I can see why those rumours are kind of coming together. Mate, I'd love it. I'd love it if it did.
Yeah, definitely. After PT.
Yeah, absolutely. So the rumours then that have also come out about what Silent Hills was going to be was that supposedly, again, who knows if it's true, but I love it if it is, you would have to sign a waiver when you play the game, okay, like an NDA type thing, you would put in your details of your phone number or your email address, and throughout the day, randomly, the game would text you and email you as if it's characters from the game talking to you in real life.
Nice.
And this would continue to happen as you play the game, and it like just consistently lives with this like freaky experience. If that had actually happened, it sounds like the most Kojima thing. I could see it. That
sounds awesome. Yeah.
It would have been so cool. Like just randomly, you just get a text from like a dead character in the game or something. It's like, what? So that's the rumor. I hope it is true, but then at the same time, I hope it isn't, because we may never get it. But whatever. It's wonderful to think about the possibility of that. We've already mentioned about the PS5 dev kits as well. Just moving on with the next thing. There are lots of photos in the wild now. Some kind of hazy pictures of the controller, but you can't really see the controller properly.
Yeah.
That to me, the dev kit, I really don't give a flying fuck what it looks like.
No.
But the controller, I do want to see. I really want to see what this is. There's leaked schematics for it.
Thick.
I want to see it. Yes.
Thick boy.
My tiny little fingers round it.
You won't be able to grasp it.
I know, I'm going to struggle.
You've got small hands. You'll be able to bite it when you get frustrated.
True. I'll probably break.
I've been thinking about Shadow of the Colossus a lot recently.
Well, so yeah. So I think...
Are we done with the news?
I think we're pretty much done. There are obviously going to be things, smaller things, but those are the things that really stuck out to me over the last couple of weeks.
So I stayed up late. Last night was Saturday, and I stayed up quite late.
I know, you text me this kind of very late last night.
In my plans because I was planning to finish Fallen Order last night, but I had less to go than I thought I did. So I finished it Friday night. And I was like, what am I going to do? So I finished watching TikTok compilations and Vine compilations on YouTube, and I thought, I need to watch something else. And I think I had suggested, it was like a 40-minute video about, and I should give credit, but no, I won't find it now, about the... people trying to find all of the secrets in Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah.
And it was so cool.
Yeah, there was some wild stuff in that game.
And
is there some like blue sword?
Yeah.
Which is like the ultimate sword to get in the game, or
that came out in the remaster.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, in the original, like there were people, and there was like a thread. So I don't even know what website it was on, but ended up going to like 600 pages of people like arguing about whether or not there was another secret, because the guy that made it had this famous interview where he said that there was like one more thing that people hadn't found out about the game.
Nice.
And so yeah, there's a really fun video just watching, and it made me think like, I should.
Fumito Ueda, that's the guy who's the creator.
And I was like, I'd be up for I might give that a go.
Yeah, well, so the remake is so good looking.
Yeah,
so good looking.
Yeah, so I might I don't know. I've just got a lot to play, but I'm finding
that's another chunky game as well, by the way.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure it's like at least 20 hours. I think.
Okay,
I think it's long.
But yeah, I'm just like, I don't know. Everything that I've got to play at the moment, I'm just like
there's just so much commitment.
I'm struggling to like.
You need to get over the hump.
But I feel like Persona's the one that when I played a bit of Persona again yesterday, and I was like, I like that game.
It's good. I don't know if it's good, but it's meant to be good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Right, that is the news done.
Cool.
We've done a lot of talking. I think we just need to take a deep breath, have a little break, maybe play a little game. Do you fancy doing that?
Yeah, I'd like. Yeah,
it's not like we've ever done that before.
No.
Right.
What game are we going to play today?
I don't have a name for this, but I think I should have got a name for this. The idea of the game, maybe we can come up with a name.
Let's think now.
Because I'd like this to become a reoccurring thing, like our games always become. The idea behind this is I'm going to give you the tagline of a game, and you're going to tell me what the game is. Okay. Now, in almost all of these, I do have an official tagline. One or two of them are just on the box art. So maybe it's not an official tagline, and one or two are kind of also just heavily implied.
So do we really actually need to come up with a name? We're probably not going to do this game again, are we?
No, because it was bloody hard to do. Yeah. Although I like reoccurring games, but this was really hard to actually do because not many games have taglines, I found.
Tagline
Tombola.
Tagline Tombola.
Here we go.
Let's go.
Okay, you ready? I've got 10 games here.
10, and I've got to get them right. I've just got to guess the game.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I'm confident, by the way. Actually, wait. I'm going to get 7 out of 10.
Oh, yeah. How many are you going to get? 7 out of 10. That's bold, by the way.
Are they hard?
I reckon you'll get at least Like 3 of them are like you're guaranteed.
Yeah.
So you need an extra 4. Okay, I'm gonna go from the.
Have you done this? Have you done them in like hardness order, or have you just gone randomly?
They're random. But
Okay.
what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna work from the bottom up, just to switch it up.
Okay.
Switch.
I was gonna make a sex joke then, but I thought that might be a little bit inappropriate.
Too much. Too far.
Too far.
Nothing is too far on this podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
You work from the bottom up.
Yummy. Blimey.
You've got right. So it's Christmas. If you're listening to this somewhere in the future, it's nearly Christmas.
Yeah.
And you've got a Christmas bauble here from it's a Beavertown one.
It is. It's from my Beavertown.
But it looks like a Lindt chocolate.
It does, the red Lindt chocolate,
and even with the little white.
Yeah.
And I'm just imagining what it would be like to have a Lindt chocolate
that
big.
size.
Because it's kind of almost, it's almost maybe a little bit smaller than a chocolate orange.
Yeah.
If you're listening. So, yeah, just thought I'd interrupt you then and bring that up.
That's all right. No problem. Right, first tagline tombola.
Go on.
Whoever wins, ... we lose.
Oh, crap, I know this.
Yeah. Now, this is actually a tagline for the entire franchise, which includes games and film.
Is it like Alien versus Predator?
Yes. You got it. That is good. I'm impressed with that.
I remember. I really remember that.
Yeah. When I first Googled it, I was like, oh, this is just all the like movie posters, and then I saw the games. I was like, oh, they all got the same.
Alien
tagline.
always has good taglines.
Yeah.
What's the Alien one?
No
one can hear you
scream in space.
In space, no one can hear you scream.
Yeah.
That's it.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Okay.
I've got one right. I'm going to keep a tally.
Right. Okay, you ready for this one?
Okay, go on.
It's kind of hard. Gotta catch 'em all.
I'm going to... Is it one about sexually transmitted diseases?
I'm not even sure where you're going with that tangent.
Because you've got to catch them all.
Sex Simulator. 2018.
Pokemon.
Which
Do I have to tell... Well, I'm assuming red or blue.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went with blue because that's what I played.
Cool.
So
I played blue, but then when I rebought a Game Boy Color and everything, I bought red because I thought.
Did you? Now,
see the other one.
Riddle me this.
Go on.
Scyther.
Okay.
Is only in red. Is it?
Yeah.
I think that's the case, and Scyther
because we couldn't have Scyther in blue. Who did we get instead? Like Pinsir or something.
Yeah, potentially.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah. Scyther is one I think might.
Pinsir's a bit more of a tank, but Scyther's cooler.
Scyther's so cool. One of the coolest designs I think of.
Do you know who Scyther evolves into?
I do, but don't.
It's Scissor.
Scissor.
And you have to evolve it with the Steel Wing.
Nice.
Which you can only get in the next generation of Pokemon games, and you have to. I think you trade it. So I think you get it to hold the item and then trade it, and during the trade.
So then in Pokemon Red you can get Scissor?
No.
Oh, okay, fine.
No. And you probably can't get it in Sword or Shield either because of hashtag Dexit.
Exactly. Dexit.
So I've got 2 right.
2 right, 2 out of 2. Good work. Number 3. Triumph as one.
Triumph as one.
Some of these are like so bad.
I want to. So in my head, and if this is right, I just want you to give me the point. But if it's not right, I want to guess again. This isn't a guess unless it's right.
Okay,
does that make sense? In my head, I originally went to World of Warcraft.
Okay,
but it's not right. Okay,
no.
So Triumph as one. Triumph.
Think about games where you're going to be playing together.
Okay. Triumph as one.
Critical Darling.
Oh, you're giving me clues.
That wasn't a clue, by the way, because it's not true.
Oh, really? Anthem?
Yes!
Yes! Come on!
Amazing.
It was the secondary clue there.
Yeah.
The Triumph as one.
It's. What do you think about that tagline for that game?
Triumph as one. It's a bad tagline. That's a bad tagline.
Yeah,
and
I think that's the reason why the game didn't do well. That's the reason why the game didn't do well, because of the bad tagline.
What would you have said though if, and say for example, Anthem was Anthem, so it was kind of bad.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But it had the best tagline ever.
I think it would have got me in.
Right. Here's the game.
Would have got the sale.
Here's the game within a game.
Okay.
Make a tagline for Anthem that would make someone now buy the game.
Okay.
My tagline is sing Sing the anthem of your heart.
It's beautiful.
What do you think?
It's beautiful.
If they came out now, if BioWare
sing the anthem of my heart.
if they put a new trailer out with that at the end,
yeah. I'd buy it. Yeah.
I played the beta of Anthem.
You did. Anthem, we're all going to win together.
Wait, hang on. Does the
play on Triumph as one?
Does the tagline start with Anthem as well?
Yes, it's okay. Anthem :
Well, I recently looked through my, on PlayStation you can go to your purchase games. I recently when I was trying to find a game to play.
Yeah.
I skipped through it and I was looking at, and I have the Anthem beta, and I also have the Destiny beta and the Destiny Alpha in my purchase, and it just goes to show what I'm yearning for as a game.
Yeah.
that I've tried to make twice.
Yeah.
And both times I found it disappointing.
Yeah. One day it will happen.
I've got 3 out of 3 so far.
Yeah, very good. Okay.
Whose Anthem tagline was better? Please tweet at us at In Dreams Club.
Can't wait for the results.
I'm going to find a GIF of Anthem and tweet that out.
The world needs heroes.
Oh, the world. Oh, I think I know this. I think I know it.
Yeah.
Is it Overwatch?
Yes!
Come on.
This is really impressive, by the way.
That's because that's a good tagline for that game.
It is.
I'm not really like. I like the lore of Overwatch, but I don't really know it that well. But I know enough to be like, that's the that
you know works. what the story is kind of.
Good
with
tagline.
It. Yeah, the world needs heroes. I love that. I think it's great.
Okay.
Good
By the
work.
way, if I get 7 right, I'm going to tank the rest on purpose.
Okay, fine.
Cool.
Okay, it'll be interesting if you get 7.
I've got 4.
Yeah. By the way, if you'd given me this, I would have only got to catch them all. I wouldn't have got the other 3.
Really?
Yeah. I'm terrible at this.
You'd have got the first one.
I don't think I would.
Really?
I honestly don't think I would. Okay, the next one.
I've not even seen Alien vs Predator, by the way. I just know the tagline.
I think I have.
Yeah.
No gods or kings, only men.
Oh, I know this. Do I? No gods or kings, only men.
Yeah. Or it might be only man. This is one of the ones I would have put down at you definitely getting.
Really? Yeah, I'm struggling a bit now. No gods or kings.
Such a strong
that
visual
is,
as well.
Yeah.
This is one of the ones which I have to admit is not like on the box art. It's kind of like people associate it as a tagline for the game, even though it's not probably officially a tagline that they used.
So this must be a game that I've played.
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure you've played it. You know this game inside out, but I'm pretty sure you've played it. You might not have actually, but you know it inside out. You've 100% watched me play it.
Oh, I know it. But is it that one? Is it BioShock?
It is.
Okay,
it is.
Cool.
You're right. Yeah.
My heart originally. I've played like half of BioShock.
Okay, I couldn't remember
because I bought the collection.
Yeah.
Which is now like £7 on
is it?
PlayStation Store, by the way. I think it's in that sale.
Everyone go get it.
Yeah, because you get all 3, I think.
Yeah. And all the DLC for all of them.
Yeah, well worth.
Great collection. It's as you go into the lighthouse at the very beginning.
Yeah,
there's
no
the red
gods or
banner
kings,
with
amen.
Andrew Ryan's
My
statue.
head originally went to like Diablo.
Okay.
5 out of 5. Come on.
Yeah.
2 more.
Very
no
good.
gods
Very
or kings,
good.
only man. Yeah.
This
is hard.
This is really hard.
All right, go on.
But amazingly, this is a tagline, which I was so happy that this actually happened. The tagline is, "Welcome home."
Is that it?
That's it.
Welcome home. That's a song by Coheed and Cambria.
That's a big spoiler for what this game is.
I think it is anyway, and it's a really cool one. Do you not know it?
I don't. I probably do actually know it.
I reckon you do.
Welcome home.
Let's think about it. Welcome home.
Yeah. Now, does that immediately in your head? Obviously, I know you don't have the answer right now.
No,
you don't know it, but that's fine. So I'm going to help you out a little bit.
Oh, I don't know if I want.
I'm not going to help you. I'm not going to help you too much.
Okay.
Does this sound like the first in a series or a sequel?
It sounds like a sequel.
Good. We're on the right tracks.
Okay. My first initial thing. Do you know what? My first initial thing thought it could have been like a Fallout game, kind of. But then I've gone off that a bit.
Okay.
But then I was like, can you imagine if it was Gone Home? Like Gone Home.
That would be wild. Gone Home.
Welcome home. Because that is literally that's physically what you were doing in that game.
That should have been it.
Oh man, I'm struggling.
Often people say when you go into like an exam,
or
something, and you have multiple choice, you've got 4 answers, and you kind of go, oh yeah, it's B, and you're like, oh, is it C? What do people normally say? They say, stay with your first instinct. That's normally right.
You're saying it's a Fallout game? Oh.
I'm not saying it's definitely.
Okay, all right. But which one? What one makes sense? Welcome Home.
You've got 5 choices.
3 New Vegas, 4
and 1
76.
And 2. Oh, you've got 6 choices actually. 76. I forgot.
It's not 76 then. Okay.
No.
I don't know. I feel like I'm probably going to go with 4. Welcome Home, because I don't know 3 and New Vegas well enough. But then I'll go 4. Fallout 4.
You nailed it. See, I gave you that slight hint as well. You know, when you do a multiple choice, you get 4 correct answers.
I don't know why my head went to Fallout though.
It's good.
Maybe I knew. Maybe I'd seen that.
Yeah, I think it. If you can imagine Fallout 4, the logo, and then underneath in like a neon thing, "Welcome Home" or something like that, it kind of feels right almost with what you're saying there.
I'm surprised I got that.
Yeah,
surprised that my head went to Fallout.
Yeah,
cool.
Maybe that just shows that Bethesda's marketing works.
Yeah,
because it's just stuck in you and it's ingrained in you somehow.
I did play a lot of that game actually as well. Is that 6? Have I got 6 out of 6?
You have got 6 out of 6.
Okay, right.
You played all of Fallout 4, haven't you?
Yeah, I
think I watched you finish.
I didn't like go back and look at the other, because there's different ways you can finish it.
Yes, yeah.
I didn't really go back. But
I know absolutely everything about that game and that story because I've watched like a 6-hour video on it. Right. Next, this is the magical number 7.
Yeah, so if I get this right, then I'm...
Because the next 3, I think, are very likely that you could get.
Oh, really?
So you're going to have to throw them, though.
Wait, the next 3? 7, 8?
After. So no, 8, 9, 10. I think there's a good chance you get them.
Okay.
This one, though...
This is hard. How would you say...
It's like 5 out of 10 hard, but it just depends if you get on the right...
Okay, cool.
Strain. Right.
I don't want any help on this one.
Yeah, you won't.
Okay, cool.
Outlaws to the End.
All right. So my head initially straight away goes to like Red Dead Redemption.
Okay.
Because like your Outlaws. Trying to think what else it could be. Outlaws to the End. But then I don't recognise that. And obviously I played a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2. Outlaws. What else has got Outlaws in it?
Thief.
It's
not Thief, by the way.
Outlaws to the End.
That would be such a bad tagline for that game.
Red Dead Redemption 2. Outlaws to the End. I don't know. It just doesn't sound right.
Don't know.
It doesn't sound right. Outlaws to the End.
This also, I'm 99% sure when I was Googling, this is an official tagline as well.
Now I'm thinking, is Outlaws, is that a thing in Borderlands? Are you an outlaw in Borderlands?
No, you're a Vault Hunter.
Okay.
Kind of giving you hints there, but
yeah, that's a bit of a hint.
Borderlands.
Outlaws. Oh, I feel like I'm missing something. Outlaws till the End.
I'm going to give you a 5-second time.
Yeah, I'll just have to go with Red Dead Redemption 2. 1.
No, you said 2. You said 2. It is Red Dead Redemption 1.
Bollocks.
Outlaws.
I knew it didn't sound right for 2.
Yeah.
I knew it didn't sound right.
Yeah. So close. Only 6 out of 10 so far.
Okay.
Very disappointing for you, Chris. Okay.
Damn. All right.
Tactical espionage action.
Okay.
Now this tagline has actually changed a couple of times.
Has it?
There's I think 3 different variants of it. So you just have to make sure you get the right one with the right time zone.
Metal Gear.
Yes. That's correct.
Solid.
Uh-huh. That's it?
Full stop.
Nailed it.
Yes.
It is. Absolutely.
Cool. All right, we're good.
We're good? No more.
We're good.
Right.
Is there 2 more?
There are 2 more.
Okay.
There are 2 more.
I was trying to think what I'm going to try and give the funniest possible answer.
Okay.
Like, what game would be the funniest?
Okay.
Spelunky.
The return draws closer.
Oh, that's a cool tagline. The return draws closer. Oh, that's a good tagline. What is that?
What is that?
The return. Oh, what could that be?
Now you want to guess it right.
Yeah, I want to get it right.
Intrigued.
The return draws closer. The return of who?
Of the Obra Dinn?
Yeah, I was thinking that could be funny. The return.
That'd be so on the nose.
Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers.
The return draws closer.
I want to get it now. The return. Oh, what could that be? Why the return draws closer? Man, I don't know. I really don't know.
Stab at anything?
Yeah, I'll have a guess. In my head.
Okay.
I'm thinking
I
like,
want to hear
it
this
kind of
thought process.
saying, yeah, obviously the return draws closer kind of implies that whatever the return is might not be like in that game.
Ooh.
So that kind of makes me think, is it like a prequel to something? Now, what could be a prequel? What games are prequels? Arkham Origins is a sequel, a prequel, sorry,
yeah.
But that's doesn't really make sense. I
don't feel like prequels are done that much in games, are they? I can't again. This is probably there's probably a million examples of it, but I can't really think of that many.
MGS does a lot of prequel stuff.
Oh yeah, I suppose pretty much every MGS game.
Because I feel like in my head, Ground Zero. This might make sense for Ground Zeroes. So like the return draws closer. Mm-hmm. But would you do 2 Metal Gear ones in a row?
Big Boss.
You wouldn't do 2 Metal Gear ones in a row.
Probably not.
Well, no, you probably would, but
yeah,
I don't think you have.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, I feel awful. The return draws closer. I'm gonna go with. Oh, I don't know.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, give up.
Okay. It is. You're going to kick yourself.
Really?
Final Fantasy VII Remake is the tagline. The return draws closer.
Okay, alright. I don't feel too bad about not getting that.
Yeah. That was a tricky one.
Yeah.
But it also does make some sense.
It does make sense. I'm not happy about that.
Okay, last one. Last one. Raise Hell.
Okay. So it sounds like it could be Doom.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a bit too obvious? Could it be Diablo? Oh, it could be Diablo. It could be Doom. Hell. Raise Hell. Animal Crossing New Leaf.
It's not Animal Crossing, unfortunately. They did think about that. I actually went into the marketing of that game, and they were thinking about using that. But they thought it was a bit too hectic for the game. It's Doom Eternal, and it's spelled R-A-Z-E. Hell, not
really.
Yeah.
Why?
I think I did see someone comment on it. I think it's some sort of play on Doom related stuff.
Oh. Okay.
So that's that.
Oh no. No, cool. It's not Animal Crossing New Leaf, because their tagline for that is Animal Crossing New Leaf, smack your bitch up.
Exactly. So that is that. Game done. You got...
Did I get 7? I feel like I fell apart. I fell apart.
7 out of 10,
I'm glad that I got to 7 though.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have got...
So
I would have got Doom.
Yeah, amazingly, you missed Doom Eternal, FF7 Remake, and Red Dead Redemption. 1.
I don't know if I'd have got Doom. I think I might have just said Doom.
Yeah. That's okay. Good effort. You set out to do what you did.
Yes, I got. What am I most impressed by?
I'm
impressed by the Fallout one.
Yeah,
that's
Anthem.
A bit obscure. Anthem, yeah.
I kind of gave you the hint with the
oh, you did.
Not so well,
but you gave me a hint.
Overwatch. You got that. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
The world needs heroes.
Yeah. The world. I'm just thinking of Winston saying that. The world needs heroes.
Excellent. Well, good work. 7 out of 10.
Amazing.
Right. Now, I would like to hear what you've been playing. But first of all, I'll tell you what I've been playing.
Okay.
Because I feel like we're going to get more in detail with your thing. I have still just been playing Death Stranding. I'm something like 47 hours into this game now.
Cool.
I finally made the point. So this is somewhat already known out there. This isn't a spoiler, me saying this. The game's in different chapters.
Oh, spoiler.
Sorry.
Oh.
The game is set up into chapters, and chapter 3 suddenly it kind of turns into the sandbox of the game.
Right.
You really are let loose to just go do what you want. And I think I've spent about 30 hours of my game in chapter 3. And I finally made the decision. I was like, right, nope. I know I've got this story mission I should be doing. I'm going to do that. And I'm just going to crack on with it. And now I'm kind of flying forward in the story.
Awesome.
It's kind of cracking along. So I'm hoping over the next week or two to have that completely finished. I'll give you my final words on it. I know you're going to be anticipating playing it sometime soon as well.
Yep.
So I'm sure we'll have a proper discussion over that. Still really enjoying it. There are definitely some weird things in the game where you can kind of feel that this game was made quite quickly. It was made very competently. It's not like it's a mess of some sort, but there are some oddities with, especially when you're in vehicles, some of the like collision side of things just feels a bit off, and I think it's done intentionally. So when you're on a bike, quite often if you're driving along and the road or the kind of land below you kind of goes up in a slope a bit, sometimes you instead of going up it, you'll just kind of hit it, and then you'll drive up it and stuff. So some weird collision impact stuff happening, and I don't think it's intentional. I think it is just a slightly janky aspect of the game. But it also does kind of feel like it's almost there, and the game is so intentionally obtuse in its layering of the world for using a bike or a car or whatever, because it wants you to walk. It wants you to be hiking places, because that is kind of the crux of the game. So you can cheese your way along in vehicles and places, but you kind of feel like you're cheesing it because of the way the game reacts to you doing that. So that's one of the things which I'm interested to see if that continues in more locations of the game. But generally speaking, absolutely enamored by this game. So cannot wait to finish it off and then talk more about it.
Cool.
That. Now, what have you been playing though?
I have finished 2 games.
Oh my goodness.
2 games.
Prolific gamer.
One we mentioned earlier was Life is Strange 2.
Yeah.
So the last episode of that came out on, I think, the 3rd of December this year.
It's quite recent, wasn't it?
I think the day after or something. I just played through it all.
Yeah. Talk to me about this, because I played Life is Strange Series 1 quite recently. I haven't played Before the Storm yet, but I really impressed by it. I think I knew I was going to like it, even though it took me. I played it over such a long period of time. I think I even restarted it and just to play it all the way through. But I remember, like, quite early on in the first episode, like, you go to your college campus, kind of, and you go to your bedroom or something, and or you're driving along or something, and who was it? Jose Gonzalez song starts playing or something, and I was like, okay, this game's gonna be cool. There's like a Sufjan Stevens song plays, and
that's I think the Sufjan Stevens one is in Season 2.
Is it in Season 2? Maybe it's in a trailer I saw them use that.
It's
or something.
for Captain Spirit, that little free download thing.
Yeah. Immediately I was like, okay, this game's pretty cool.
Well, I think in a way 2 is very, very different to 1. I mean, it's obviously similar in terms of like the way it plays and The fact that it's
release schedule, like
how it's episodic.
5 episodes.
Yep, 5 episodes. But it's super different. Like because obviously Life is Strange 1, obviously you have this supernatural power and you can rewind time and stuff like that, and you can do that kind of at any point really, but obviously there's specific parts where you do it for story related stuff, and then basically you're kind of you're this high school. You're high school or you college? College. You're sort of like
college.
I think you're college. Yeah. And then your supernatural powers come into play, and then the whole game kind of flips on its head if like 3 or 4 episodes in. It's really cool. And there's mostly, I feel like it's about the relationships between the characters, and there are quite deep themes in series 1 that are sort of there, that come to the forefront, but are also kind of in the background, where there's a lot of obviously about depression and bullying and
abuses of power and stuff like
for
that.
Sure. Now for Life is Strange 2, it kind of almost starts off and you get you see your characters that you're playing as, and you see he's got his friend at high school or college or wherever they are, and you think this is cool, you know what's going to happen, and then it all changes and you end up in a very different situation where actually the story is about your relationship, but very much more with your younger brother, and then eventually other characters that come in, not without wanting to spoil anything. Because I feel like you want to just go into this blind.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I feel with this one, it's much more about what those themes are, and the themes of like how race is seen in America.
Oh, interesting.
And definitely abuse of power again of that. And there's quite a lot of like religious themes as well. So especially I think episode 4, there's a lot of
that was like slightly touched on with one of the characters in Life is Strange 1.
Yeah,
it certainly.
But that was a very surface level, whereas this
like
it really comes to the fore, and like really like the messages and the themes behind it are massive in 2.
Okay.
And I found myself, I think when we got, because they were so long in between episodes, and I think like when I got to about episode 2 and 3, I was starting to think like, this is kind of, I wasn't sure how I felt about it. Then episode 4 happened, which was very good, and then episode 5, by the time you get to the end, you're like, damn, like this is really good and really hits home.
Yeah.
With the feels. And I sat and so I got a specific ending, and I then obviously went to YouTube and I watched 45-minute video which showed all of the other possible endings that you could have got.
Yeah.
And it's one of those games where it would not actually be possible, from what I understand, it wouldn't be possible for me to just go back into episode 5 and get every ending,
because it's really impacted from the previous episodes.
Because basically, part of how you interact with this game, as well as making decisions or what you say to people, is the example you set your brother. Which is really cool, because there's specific parts like really early on, because without spoiling anything, you're kind of on the run through America with you're Sean, and Daniel is your younger brother, and this time, instead of you having supernatural powers that you can use, it's your brother. Your brother has the supernatural powers, and you're trying to keep it a secret and things like that while you're on the run. And while you're doing things, there's parts where you might go into a shop and like you really need food, or you know this, and so you have the option of, do you steal?
Sure.
Do you steal something, or do you? And then when you get caught, do you attack the shop owner? And kind of throughout the whole thing, I tried to be like as good an example as I could.
Yeah.
So the ending that I got reflected that, and the choice that I made. And I could have got one other different ending if I'd made a slightly different choice at the end, but what Daniel did, the younger brother, would have been like I couldn't change because of the decisions I've made throughout all 5 episodes.
I like that,
which is cool, because for example, like the Telltale ones that we talked about earlier, it's very much you feel like you, and some of them are better than others. Like Wolf Among Us is better, and Walking Dead season 1 is better, but a lot of the other ones just feel like you're playing a flowchart.
Yeah, the illusion of choice is there, but you're actually funneled towards a creative decision.
And this, you are funneled to this point, but what happens is very different. Very, very different. And then there's a ending cutscene that will play with different things. And I feel like the cutscene that I got was so perfect for the way that I played, and so heartbreaking as well. I think
that what you just said there is so important with these kind of games, especially where there's even if it's a real choice or an illusion of choice, is as long as where you get up to, you feel satisfied with how you've got there and then what plays out, I think is so important, because I think it's very easy to then, even if you are being funneled somewhere, that ending video, that ending piece, if it doesn't really respect or doesn't feel like you've earned that part, that can break it down so quickly. So what you just said there is such a great and I kind of want to
talk about one specific thing which I thought they handled so well. Like, for example, the boy's mother is kind of not around, and she comes into the story a little bit later, and you can choose how you react to her and respond to her, because she kind of, the reason she left the family was because she is kind of like, oh, I'm a free spirit, I can't be tied down like that. And I myself just found myself very angry at that. And so me playing Sean, I was really cold with her. And I was really like, but then she helped us, and she kind of has a bit of a redemption. But even in the redemption, I was still like, look, you're, whatever your name is, I can't actually remember it, but you're this, you're not mum. And I wrote her a very sort of like thankful and respect. You can choose at the end to like leave her a letter, or when you part ways. And I sort of left her a letter, but it was very, thank you for this, blah blah. It was nice to see you. Like, and I was like, man, because you can actually, when you see like how you get at the end where you see what options you chose compared to other people, you can like just you can like accept her completely, or you can just be stone cold and be like, kind of like not aggressive with her, but like, and I felt like I got a good balance. And there's other things. So for example, there's a button you can press in game, and it tells you this at the very beginning of episode 1, and then never reminds you of it, which will, if you're with Daniel, it will sort of shift the camera to look at where he is.
I see.
And there's points where, for example, in the early episodes, like 1 and 2, when you're sort of in forest and you're going around and you're walking, if you have to get over a large tree that's fallen down, or jump down a little jump down to a little way that's a fair bit, you can just jump down, walk on, go, and that's fine. But Daniel will stand at the top and like kind of be like, oh, like I'm not sure, and then he like struggles to get down, or you can get down and then help him, and that will improve the relationship and what he's like as a person. And if you don't do it, it makes him more cold and more sort of alone. And it's really cool little tiny details that made it really strong. And I never thought playing it, I really like this as much as 1, and I still don't think I quite enjoy it as much as Life is Strange 1, but it's really good. And well worth a playthrough. And the themes that they touch upon are very, very well done, I think. Especially because if I just told you what one of the main themes was now, you'd think, oh gosh. But the way they do it is amazing.
Excellent. Well, so one of the things that I quite felt with Life is Strange Series 1, and I'd be interested to see if it's similar with this, is that I think although I really enjoyed it straight away, I could definitely almost see them get more comfortable with the game and the idea, and the storylines becoming, and a lot of the writing at first is it kind of almost, I don't know, it was kind of like 1980s rom-com-y kind of chat, and then as it gets on, it feels like the writers of the game are getting better at what they're wanting to do, and each episode got stronger as it went along. With Life is Strange 2 then, do you feel like it started from that great position and continued in that vein, or again do you feel like they got better as they went along with the game, as they kind of got more confident with telling this story?
I don't know, because I think the opening's really strong.
Okay.
And then I think, for me, it dipped a bit.
Okay, because I would naturally think, you could see the developer almost like get better at doing this throughout the first one, and I was like, I would hope that they would continue from that high point then.
I think they do. I think that's right. But then I just think
it just has a little dip.
There's parts in the middle that are a little bit like, and I think part of the problem with that is that they, by the nature of that, they're on a long journey. So each episode, it's not like you are in this place and you get to know these people really well and then you interact with them. It's like, no, you're at this place, then by the next episode you've travelled to this place, and next episode you travel here, and
I think also, again, without actually having playing it, but what you say there and kind of something that I often quite feel in films or stories or games or anything, is that sometimes that middle section where things maybe do become a bit more mundane or whatever, or they just kind of fall a little flat, can sometimes, although it feels like, oh, this is a bit whatever kind of compared to the rest, sometimes it is that mundane stuff, and by the end, because you've done that stuff as these characters or with these characters, that kind of builds up into, oh, now I appreciate them even more because we've done the crappy little stuff or the really exciting stuff. So sometimes that can be a negative but then end up being a positive as well. But it sounds, I really want to get to it sometime soon.
I feel like it'd be, I won't do this because I'm happy with how I played it and what happened. But it'd be interesting to see what it's like to play it just straight through, without a 3-month gap. Because that's how I played Life is Strange 1.
Yes.
I played it kind of just bombed through.
Yeah.
And then played Before the Storm as well.
Are these the same? I don't know if this is a spoiler, but are these the same worlds? Did you need to have played Life is Strange 1 and Before the Storm? Or how can you go into this? Is this obviously, don't say if it's integral to it.
They are the same world.
Yeah.
If you haven't played Life is Strange 1, it will ask, if you haven't played Life is Strange 1, there will be a choice you make at the very beginning of Life is Strange 2 that will spoil the ending of Life is Strange 1.
Okay.
Because you basically, instead of it reading a save or whatever, it just goes, what did you do at the end of Life is Strange 1?
I've got you.
And then there is a callback very early, and then there is a very late callback, which is very cool.
Okay.
Which I really liked.
Nice.
For Life is Strange 1. Okay. But I'll say no more than that.
Yeah. No. I think that.
And I think actually, if you play Before the Storm, it would make that late callback even better.
That was actually, I was going to say that then.
And Before the Storm's amazing as well. So.
I'm right, it's 3 episodes long?
Yeah.
Perfect. Excellent. Well, that's very positive sounding.
Yeah,
stuff.
I really liked it. I was thinking about this the other day, and we're gonna do a whole episode where we talk about our games of the year. But Life is Strange 2 is going to be up there for me.
Yeah,
for sure.
I've heard that from quite a few people as well. I've seen that written quite a bit.
So the other game that I played and finished is Jedi Fallen Order. I talked a lot about that last time.
Yeah. So let's go over kind of your obviously final thoughts now. Then. Finishing. I know I think you've said to me previously that this is one of the most up and down games you've ever played.
Yeah, and I think last time that we recorded, I was getting through. I think I must have been about 3/4 of the way through the game.
Sure.
And pretty high on it, but with some negative feelings. But then I just played a bit. I played a bit more after we recorded last time, and just hit this part where I was just like, oh man, it just feels like a slog.
Yeah.
And I just felt the more that I got through this game and got to parts, for example, like the place Dathomir, which is one of the later planets that you go to. Actually, no, you can go to it at any time, but story-wise, it's later. I just found that whole section to be a massive slog, and the part of that is because the enemies there, you can't really affect them with the Force.
Sure.
So it's all about like your lightsaber abilities, and the other thing. This is something that loads of people have said, and that I don't think we mentioned last time, is the fact there's no fast travel. You've taken the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say, from what you've said, and with certain aspects feeling like a slog, and from what I know about the game, it feels like this game is screaming out for a fast travel system of some sort. I mean,
Am I right? I'm right in thinking that if you go to a planet, they are very big, complex worlds with lots of different branching paths to explore and go down, and some that get access as you get more powers, etc. But if you go really, really far, all the way down the map, kind of to the other end, because the story asks you to do this, to then leave, you have to travel all the way back to your ship, which is at the beginning, let's just say in quotes.
Yeah, and I would say it's not. I don't want to be like wrong about this, because what will often be the case is that your ship will land and you go off, and quite near the beginning there'll be a door you can't go through.
Yeah.
And so you go through the whole level, you do everything, you fight your boss, whatever. Then on the way back, you'll find this path where it's like, now I can open up this door. Okay. So you can open it and then you go a little bit quicker back.
A shortcut of sorts.
The things that frustrate me, and I'm just going to... So one of the things that is annoying is that you can then go back. Once you get more force powers, you can go back to planets you've been to before and open up things with the new force power you didn't have last time you were there. And like in situations like that, it's just like, oh, okay, so now I've just got to go through and go through this whole level without any kind of fast travel, and I have to slog through all of this again. And then to get back, I have to go, run back all the way, even if there is shortcut doors open now, whatever. Yeah. For example, for me, I did the whole Dathomir part. You have a first visit there, then some story stuff happens. You leave, go somewhere else, then come back.
Yeah. And
that Dathomir, the first Dathomir part, I hated, and I was literally at such a low of the game. I was like, I don't even know if I want to finish this game. I got through that bit, went to the planet you go to in between. Really loved that part. Came back to Dathomir, and it was much quicker. And it was like, here, go to here, do this boss fight.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, that's so good. Did the boss fight, come out of where the boss fight happens, climb up this bit, and I feel like this was an issue I had throughout the whole game. I was like, okay, I've climbed up to this bit. I don't really know where to go. And I couldn't really work it out on the map, and so I just sort of went through this part and ended up falling right down and into the lowest section of somewhere else. So I had to climb all the way back and go through the whole thing where all the enemies were, just to get back to where I needed to be. And speaking of that, I think I mentioned last time the way that the enemies work, and you obviously have meditation points, kind of like Dark Souls with the campfires, where if you rest there, the enemies just respawn for the whole section. And the more that I played it, like I didn't hate the combat. I like the combat, but especially on Dathomir, where the enemies are a little bit more tricky, it's frustrating, but it also just makes no sense in the narrative.
Yeah,
I guess actually maybe on Dathomir is the only place I can kind of, because it's kind of weird, Dathomir. Okay. But when you're in Kashyyyk and there's stormtroopers, or when you're on I can't remember, I think it's like Zepho or even Ilum or Ilum, whatever it is, towards the end, when there's those stormtroopers and I've killed them all, and then I meditate and then those exact same ones come back, I'm just like, it just doesn't make sense in the Star Wars universe for that mechanic to be in the game.
I'm getting more and more fascinated with like why certain mechanics are in games, and this always felt like a slight like, does this
it feels benefit a bit cheap.
The game, or is this being done because it's a cool thing to do in games?
I think it's been done because it's something they've taken from Dark Souls.
Yeah,
and it makes sense in Dark Souls and Bloodborne and whatever, because
that's kind of the game.
Yeah,
is to do that.
Whereas this, it's like, oh yeah, I've come through this bit and I've fought these stormtroopers before.
Yeah, I get what you mean. That was something which, when I first heard that, I was kind of like, that's a bit weird for a Star Wars game to have that kind of mechanic in it.
So I basically got to this point and I was just like feeling super down on the game, but then obviously I slogged through the Dathomir part. Then the story really picks up, and a couple of really great boss fights towards the end, and then the story, and I would say like the story's okay. Like when the story picks up towards the end, you start thinking, wow, actually, this is great. Yeah, this is really good. And I actually really enjoyed. I said I finished it like 2 nights ago, and I really enjoyed the last 2 hours or so, whatever I played with it. So, but yeah, it was such a roller coaster of, I love this, I kind of hate this, and then I really hate this. Back to being like, no, this was a good game, but I don't know.
Do you? Okay, so now you have finished it, and you've gone through the reads, and you think, yes, this was a good game. Do you think? This is a bit of a big question, but do you think Respawn, considering what they've done with the game and the kind of what they put forward with it, are you excited about another game by them in this world,
like a sequel to this?
A sequel to this, or not specifically a sequel to the story, but them and the idea of the kind of fundamentals of the way this game is made.
How do you mean, like, if they did another game, even if it wasn't Star Wars, or?
No. So if they made another Star Wars game and it's the same ideas of the campfire respawns, the 5 planets that you can travel to type system, or do you feel like you want something different?
No, I think I definitely want to see the sequel.
Okay.
And I just think they have to listen to that universal feedback about the fast travels. If they had the fast travel, I don't I still wouldn't agree with the respawning enemies being in it, but I don't think it would be as big of a problem.
Because then you could zip about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would be really excited, but I think there was parts of it that kind of felt a little bit like, because obviously there's a lot of the wall running and the traversal, which can be super frustrating at times because it's like, oh, you fall, you die.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, do it again. Oh, you didn't, and it's like, I know I put the input in for that jump, just fucking put me where you wanted me to be, and then it kind of feels at times where it's like, oh, I'm on this ice planet, so I'm going to slide down this blue bit.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm on Dathomir, a red planet, so I'm going to slide down this red bit. I'm on Kashyyyk, so here's a brown and green slide for me to slide on.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, okay, like,
the ideas are being recycled.
Everything's just skinned a bit differently for each planet.
And,
but this, I mean, I've been very negative on it here, but it is a great game.
Yeah.
And I think there's so many little things in it, like just being able to use all the force powers in battle. I think my negative from last time I recorded was about how the lightsaber doesn't feel quite weighty enough, and that is definitely a problem. And I think they could improve that.
Yeah.
But yeah, ultimately, I'm looking forward to.
And would you? My kind of final question on this would be: let's say we are getting a sequel, which
we definitely will get a sequel.
Exactly. Do you want the story to continue exactly from where it finished? Obviously, don't spoil it, what happens at the end or anything. But do you want to see it pick up just like kind of straight where it is, or would you want to go see be a new character, or kind of how would you want to see this continue forward then?
I think
because just confirm the name is Star Wars Jedi: Fallen Order.
Yeah,
that's.
So I guess did we talk about this last time? Or we were just talking about it together? I can't remember. Like where it could be like Star Wars Jedi is the franchise.
That's what.
And
I'm
then
kind
it's like, okay, this was Fallen
hinting.
Order. Like this was Cal Kestis' story. Then maybe they could do someone else's story.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I'd be kind of up for seeing something set like during the Clone Wars.
Sure.
Like where you're fighting some like droids.
Yeah.
Because there's like two. No, there's a few other type of droids that you fight, but it'd be cool to like see the prequel era.
Yeah.
Droids
fleshed out a bit more in the game as well.
Like and just seeing some more like some more varied environments, because actually I feel like the environments bogged me down a bit by the end. Like I said, I loved anything that was like inside a Imperial base and the whole.
I'm not sure.
Oh, Alexa.
Seriously, I'm trying to talk about Star Wars here. Anytime that you're inside an Imperial base and the whole ending sequence, I loved all of that. But I felt that the outside or the nature environments just got a bit samey towards the end. And I feel like if we could go to like Naboo, and see places like that, or like where the Gungans lived on Naboo and stuff, I feel like stuff like that would be really cool in this sort of game with really high production values. So. I'm sure, and I guess we won't have seen this. Have we seen any MPDs for this game yet? Probably not.
I don't think we have. No, we should.
Be really interested to see that. It must have sold super well.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. There was quite a lot of marketing for it.
Yeah.
It was good buzz that came out around it. And
you know, the thing as well is, I feel like out of all of the gaming reviews or reactions or anything that I see, I feel like I'm the most negative person that I've seen on this game.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely. Everyone else that I've heard or seen or read about has been so much more positive than I've been about this game. So I'm happy. Like, I'm obviously glad that everyone's loved it. But, yeah, there were things that really bugged me in it.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it does land it properly, I think.
Fantastic. Good stuff. Right. The most important thing I want to ask you, just on both Life is Strange Season 2, I
don't know. You keep calling it Season 2, but
is it not? Is it called Life is Strange 2?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
I just didn't want any die-hard Life is Strange fans to be upset with it.
It's not Season 2. Life is Strange 2 and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
In real life, we've just started doing something where, because we love reviews so much, that we're going to score things.
We love scoring things.
We love scoring things because that is how... It's the best way to understand how good something is.
Because, you know, if something gets a 7 out of 10, That's a bad game.
Exactly. Between 7 and 7.9. Bad game. Sell. 8. Meh.
It's alright.
Meh. 9.
Oh,
yeah.
Basically, if a game is less than a 9 out of 10, it's trash.
Exactly.
And you should throw it in the bin.
Yeah. So what we do, however, is we score it on the 69 scale.
Yeah. So, what would I give?
What would you give Life is Strange 2?
Life is Strange 2. I would give it 69.
Wow, I like that.
No, I kind of got that wrong a bit because what I was trying to put across. Wait, I need to think about this for a second. You throw me 69.
Whoa,
like
emotion. There's emotion.
That's
in
what I was
it.
trying to get across. Like
okay.
a bit of sadness.
So it's a high note. 69.
Man, the ending I got was so heartbreaking. I really want you to, when you play it, really let me know what you got. I feel like, I don't know. It's really sad.
Well, I ended the game series. Life is Strange 1.
Yeah.
I ended it completely differently than you.
I don't know if I've talked about this.
We have talked about it ages ago. I got a completely different ending to you. And
Star Wars
Jedi Fallen Order.
69.
I like that. Okay, I can settle.
69.
I can really understand what you mean by that.
It was good. Yeah, I think it's a really good game.
It was 69.
Stuff got to me.
Yeah, it was 69.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
Good stuff all around.
69.
Right, that means there is only one thing left to do on this episode of Bomb Squad, and that is to discuss some bets. Last episode, we did a bet, which was, when we record the podcast, what percentage of players of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order will have the Platinum Trophy. So when you go on the PSN kind of profile, or you look at the trophies, you see a little percentage which shows how many people that played the game have that.
So every single trophy in every game has a rarity level. Yeah. So it will say like
ultra rare, very rare.
What's the
common?
Is it common?
Common is
common, rare, very rare, ultra rare.
Yeah. So,
and we said, and then it also has a percentage. Like what percentage of players got this trophy?
Exactly, and that's what we were betting on. I was in the high ones. Chris, you said 3.2.
Yeah, I feel like we should have. I'm sure I did write it down, but I don't think I've brought the bit of paper that I wrote it down.
That's right. No, I trust you.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain I said 3.2%.
And now something interesting happened with this, didn't it? Because we looked at this, and it's currently, spoilers, it's 3.3.
3.3%.
So 100% you get the pet.
Nailed it.
Yesterday, however,
I checked yesterday because I realised we were going to be recording this, so I checked it yesterday, and I found that yesterday it was 3.2.
That would have been double points.
I was spot on.
You would have got double points for that.
Yeah, we didn't say it last week.
Yeah, but that's a rule I'm adding in now. But you missed it. You didn't get it.
Hang on, Is this an official rule? So if we're guessing numbers and we get it exactly right, it's double points.
Yeah. It's the only way I'm going to come back. I mean, those double points.
Speaking of the comeback, I haven't got the score written down, but I'm pretty sure it's now 10-2.
I'm pretty sure it is
10-2,
which is pretty bad.
I'm sure how that can mathematically. Oh no, because I got double points one, didn't I?
Yeah.
10-2.
Yeah.
Goodness me. So Team Hufflepuff.
Stormin.
Helga. Oh wait, I can't remember now. Is it Helga Hufflepuff or is it Helena Hufflepuff?
For who?
I
know nothing about Harry Potter.
When Hogwarts was made, it was made originally by 4 wizards and witches called Godric Gryffindor, Salazar Slytherin, Rowena Ravenclaw, and Helga Hufflepuff.
Okay. Am I Gryffindor?
Pretty sure. Yeah, you're Gryffindor.
Cool. Always forget that.
We've got mic covers that are the colour of our house, and you still...
No way, is that why we did it?
Do you not know? That's why. Do you not know that's why? I've got a yellow one and you've got a red one.
That's why. Okay.
That's why I get angry every time you put the red one in front of me by accident.
Fine. That will make it so much easier for
Gryffindor is officially getting its ass handed to it.
Yeah.
Now, here's the question. Here's the next question.
Okay.
Because it is currently Sunday, the 15th of December while we're recording. Everyone's now going to know how late we are putting it up.
Yeah.
Do we do this like a yearly thing? Like, is this kind of thing where the last one that we record of 2019, that's the end of it, and then we start anew in 2020?
Yeah, so just as a forward, I think.
Because I'm pretty sure that means I've won 2019.
Well, no, but it's all to play for. Remember the Golden Snitch?
Is that going to happen?
Yeah.
So the last one every year is
I've got something
worth 150 points.
So we are going to have. Obviously, Chris and I are going to do some recording over.
Can we talk about
Christmas.
Harry Potter for a second, please?
Fine.
Okay.
Let's go back to Harry Potter.
Right. So the Golden Snitch is
the amount of cross-reference from the Realise podcast that should have happened on this, like with the Batman chat and the Harry Potter chat.
Yeah, but Realise is about films, and Harry Potter are books. All right. Fucking noob.
And Batman are comics. So.
Fucking muggle. What's your last name?
Muggleton.
The game of Quidditch.
Yeah.
Okay. Now there are many balls.
Bullshit.
There are many balls, and there are hoops where you throw the quaffle through to get, and every time you throw the quaffle through, you get 10 points. Yeah. The thing is, if you're listening to this, and you know Harry Potter, you know how normal this sounds. But for someone that doesn't know Harry Potter,
it's just gobbledygook.
So you win 10 points every time you score a goal.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the hoops are quite small. You must have seen the films. What the hoops look like? So they're quite small.
Yeah, I've only seen the first film, so I only have a
You've only seen the first Harry Potter film.
Yeah, is it even in the first? I've seen. I can visualize it.
Okay, so 10 points every time you score. But
season 2 of Bomb Squad will change it to 10 points. We'll go official scoring.
Love it. But then obviously if the Seeker catches the Snitch, it's 150 points. So it's super OP. Like, what a ridiculous sport, firstly.
Yeah.
Okay. And wait, what was I going to say? Oh, I know what I was going to say. In the 4th Harry Potter book, they go and watch the Quidditch World Cup final, which is Ireland versus Bulgaria, I think.
Nice.
Okay.
Good to see Bulgaria doing well.
Now, in the beginning, like, basically the two, Fred and George Weasley put a bet on the final.
Okay.
And they say this is the bet they put on, that Ireland win the cup, but Bulgaria catch the Snitch.
Wow.
Okay.
So that means Ireland must have got a lot more points.
Yeah. And that's actually what happens. I feel
like there's some match fixing going on.
But think about this.
Okay.
The only way that a game of Quidditch ends is when the Snitch is caught.
Okay.
So why the fuck would you catch the Snitch if you were 160 points behind?
That is a very good point.
Think about that, yeah? So, nuts. And I think the way they sell it in the book is that the Seeker of Bulgaria, who is an important character there called Victor Crumb, he knows that they can't catch up.
Okay.
So he just catches it to get the
misery.
Gets the score a bit more respectable.
Sure.
Yeah?
Okay.
Are you happy that we had this little tangent on Harry Potter?
I am. And
what a nut sport Quidditch is, by the way.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I'm glad we've had this though, because now again we're shoring up the ship, getting better at what our craft is here.
Yeah.
So that moving forward in season 2 of Bomb Squad, aka 2020,
hashtag
we will now. No, only season 3 because we've already done a season 2 stuff.
Yeah, I've already done
season whatever. Season 2020.
Season 3 on that battle bus.
On the battle bus again. We'll do 10 points per bet. Official Quidditch score.
Okay. Because if we were going to... So that would make the score at now 100 to 20. If that was...
Well, we're not.
This season. But we're not.
Not for this season.
10-2.
So, importantly, that brings us to the next bet.
The next bet.
For next episode.
And we're saying there's probably going to be another... At least one episode, maybe 2 episodes.
Yeah, I think we'll hope to try and get 2 in before the end of the year.
Because we've got one that we definitely know what we're going to do, and then we've got one other episode.
That's something I was saying earlier was, so we will have a Golden Snitch moment. And that's going to be, we're going to do an episode where we're basically talking about our favourite games of the last decade.
Amazing.
And we'll maybe pit them against each other.
Fortnite. Call of Duty, Black Warfare 3.
Black Warfare.
Oh no,
you cannot make that.
You can't have that. What? Infinite
Warfare?
Ops.
Infinite Ops 3.
Advanced 9.
There you go.
Call of Duty. Real gamers.
So we'll have that. Is going to be quite a lengthy episode, quite a big discussion, and maybe we'll do it.
I don't think it will be lengthy because it's not going to take us too long to say that Arkham City was the best game of the last decade.
Where have you got that from? You are the Dragon Age Origins,
which came out in 2009. Oh
snap!
I'm pretty sure. I'll double check that. Pretty sure it was.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'd have said Arkham Asylum, but I think that was the same year.
Okay, fine.
Oh, you just got wrecked.
I did double wrecked.
So hard at the end, though.
The next bet.
Oh, yeah.
We mentioned Untitled Goose Game comes out December 17th. We just looked on Twitch to see how many people are watching this game be played.
Do you want me to do a final check right now, live?
No,
should we go with that number?
We'll go with it. So when we looked about 2 hours ago, there were 15 people watching it.
I was really surprised by that. I really thought
the game has been out for a while.
Yeah. 15 people though. Fair play.
So we are going to look at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, the day it comes out on PS4. 6 p.m. GMT. It's not BST currently, is it? It's GMT. I think we.
Good morning, Tunisia.
Good morning, Tunisia. How many people are going to be watching on Twitch? I will go first.
I haven't thought about this at all, so I'm just going to do it spur of the moment.
Exactly same. So I'm going to go first, and I'm going to say 2,785 people.
Oh, that's a big bump.
It is.
2,785?
There's like 100 million PS4s in the world.
You're right. Oh my goodness.
2,785. Lock it in.
I'm going to go lower than you.
Okay.
It's only. Right, I'm going to say 2,784. No, I'm joking. I'm going to say 1,069.
Fantastic. Excellent. I will lock that in. Boom.
That's it.
Bet's in.
That's done. Another one in the bag. Episode 12 of Bomb Squad.
Fantastic stuff.
I feel like we should say the name, we should say the number of the episode.
Yeah.
At the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the thing we should
We're always learning. We're always learning as we're doing this.
And actually, speaking of learning, we've now come up with a really good way of ending the podcast.
Exactly. So,
Andy's now going to do.
Yeah. You can find us on our website, indreamsclub.com. You can also find us on Twitter, Chris.
At
Yes.
In Dreams Club.
Nailed it. And you should also go check out our other podcast, Realise.
We've just done a review of... we didn't review it. Yeah, we did review it.
Yeah,
we just talked about Knives Out.
Yeah.
Ryan Johnson's murder mystery.
Yeah. Check it out.
We're actually special guest of Daniel Craig.
Yes.
In that episode.
I'm so happy we're
such a big get. Such a big get for us.
Especially a small podcast, kind of. No, it's good. It's good to see. So thank you very much for listening, as always, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Call of Duty Black Warfare 3.
Black Warfare.
Oh no.
You cannot make that.
You can't have that.